Hello, what up? What is good? Welcome in to the OnlyBets Sports Podcast, Wednesday edition, and alongside Drew DeLucchi, Stern Bits. I'm the Prince of Picks. Got a great show lined up for you guys today. Of course, we got the NBA playoffs, WNBA in action, soccer action. We got the Europa League final as well over in Europe. Of course, we got action in the major leagues on the ballparks in baseball. So, got a lot of sports to cover for you guys today. Before we do that, if you guys can do us a real quick favor, head on over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever it is that you guys listen to us. Rate, review, subscribe does a lot to help us out in growing this channel and getting it out to more potential listeners. With that being said, let me go ahead and introduce my co-host, Mr. Turbets. Good morning, Mosh. Happy Wednesday, bro, and how we doing?
Happy Wednesday indeed. Very nice. I'm happy that the rain last night didn't just completely kill the weather here in the East Coast. It's not going to be mid-90s, but we will still have great baseball weather. I really kind of want to talk about last night's game, though. That was absolutely insane in the NBA. The Knicks were down 22 points sometime in the third quarter. I turned off the game, just like probably most people did. And then I got a notification from ESPN sometime in the fourth quarter saying, possible largest comeback in NBA playoff history. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just missed that. Can't wait to hear your breakdown on that. That's going to be exciting. Looking back at yesterday's plays, I had a full unit split up between the Dodgers run line -1.5 and the Dodgers money line 1-1. The money line cashes just like the day before, and the run line does not, unfortunately. So looking forward to a better day today. Let's bring in Drew. Drew, can you hear me? Prince, real quick, how did you do yesterday? What was your card like?
Yeah. So for me yesterday, we hit on our Knicks team total over 112.5. We also hit on our team total parlay in baseball with Braves, Diamondbacks, both over 2.5. That hit as well.
Can I interrupt real quick?
Absolutely.
You had back-to-back days where your team total parlay came through with a bottom of the ninth walk-off home run.
Love it.
Just unreal.
Love it. However we get there, we get there. I'll take it, and that's great. Starting off 2-0 here for the week for the baseball plays. I'll take it for sure. And then of course the Bournemouth taking on Manchester City. We had them +1, basically to avoid a defeat, which they did. So we cashed that out as well. So overall, we went 3-1 in our official play. So that puts us at plus money for the week, and we'll see if we can continue that again today.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for picking me up. Drew, how did you do yesterday?
Yeah, Will Warren went under 17.5 outs. He didn't necessarily pitch bad, but he just basically lasted like 5 innings, high pitch count, decent amount of runs given up, not terrible. And then Cat, that under hit regardless of it being overtime. He only had 13 points and 13 boards, even in including overtime, and we still hit it by 4 points. So I'll take it because we did under 29.5, and he would have needed to get it 30 points and rebounds for it to not hit. So 2-0, good stuff.
Yeah, well done on those calls. I very much was watching nervously as they creeped into overtime. On one hand, I had Prince's team total play that I wanted to hit. On the other hand, I did not want Towns to kind of go ham. Very interesting dilemma there. All right, let's look forward to the date ahead. We have day baseball. Very excited to get into it. Philadelphia is going to be playing early. I wanted to pick a few things in this game. I think it's the best hitting conditions of the day, but I'm going to pass it over our main man, Drew. Where are we going first on today's baseball slate?
Yeah, for sure. I was seeing if they would have Zach Littell's line up for let me see on Fanatics. Usually, if it's not on Fanatics, not other places, I'm going to double check it. But we do have the Mets Nationals as well. The Mets offense has been hot. I'm actually looking forward to. I like watching games when they're at the National Stadium. So I'm double checking this right here because I did see it. Yeah, for some reason they're not having Zach Littell's. I guess they're worried that they may start a reliever ahead of him in that case. Oh well, but we have Blue Jays versus Yankees. That's a game I'm interested in just watching in general. Trey Savage versus Cam Schlittler. I don't necessarily have an official play with it, but before I do my outs official play, I was curious if you had a take in that game, Stern.
Oh, yes, I do. Of course I do.
Yeah.
It's the Yankees with Cam Schlittler. We have been backing Cam Schlittler consistently over the last 2 months. And I don't plan on stopping now just because Trey is Savage, right? It's Trey. I'm trying to find my notes here.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is. Um, Trey Savage has incredible underlying metrics. He really does. But opponents first time around the order this year are hitting 303 with an OPS of 725 against him. And it really comes down to his control, which is just under 10% walk rate. So if his control is on point, which it looks like this year kind of comes into focus the more he pitches in a game, he'll do fine. But if he doesn't and he makes a mistake, the Yankees will pounce early. And I don't think Schlittler has the same issues. Opponents first time around the order are batting 172 against him. And again, Yankees offense ranks the top of the league. Toronto's ranks at the bottom of the league. Yankees have not been scoring early so far in this series. I expect it to change. I know it's juicy, but give me the Yankees first three money line at minus 160. How do you like them apples, Drew?
I love it. I like that play a lot.
Yeah, it's a fun one, especially on Yankees at home. It's always a solid look. Prince, any thoughts on the Yankees before we go back to Drew for his official outs play of the day?
No thoughts from me on that game.
Alrighty, Drew, what's your outs play of the day?
Yeah, I learned I generally will do better if I stick with, of course, one how it's play. I've learned versus doing two, and I've noticed that's like I usually if I do two, one usually hits, and the other one just gets hooked for no reason at all, or I completely blow it for one of them. But my outs play of the day is. Let's go to Coors Field. We have Rangers at the Rockies. I was looking at the weather. I believe the weather is still pretty cold, right, Stern? Um,
It's
overall.
50 degrees, but you're seeing movement. There was a home run in the game yesterday. It's slightly better hitting conditions. I'm actually going to be
Yeah.
revisiting this for my home run prop of the day. I think that we could see some movement. Remember, this is really high altitude, which really takes care of a
Oh,
lot of the
high
thin air kind of counteracts the cold air.
high
Somewhat.
chance of rain, by the way. So this makes me like my outplay even more because if it's one of those, by the way, for outplays, guys, if a pitcher goes out, right, it goes out there and then they pitch. Actually, technically, it can be like one inning, like they're pitching right, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, they're probably going to come out in the sixth inning, and then there's a rain delay. He won't be able to pitch again because he's going to be all rusty and stuff.
Yeah, it's hard
But
to start and stop in
yeah,
the league.
but no, yeah, exactly. Start and stop. Otherwise, you're gonna blow out your arm. That's why you see these pitchers always try to loosen their arm in the dugout and stuff. I like on DK. I can find this on DK. Couldn't find a Fanatics necessarily, but I think this is really good value. Kyle Freeland under 16.5 at plus 106. I don't understand what Vegas is necessarily like doing with this. Of course, I could be wrong. Betting is subjective, but he's only covered this once out of his 8 starts he's had. If you just look at his last 4 starts, right? Yes, he's covered at least 5 innings, but that's still not 16 and a half. 16 and a half means they would have to pitch 5.2. But his last 4 starts, 5 innings, 4 earned runs, 4.1 innings, 6 earned runs, 5 innings, 6 earned runs, 3.2 innings, 7 earned runs. So Freeland has been getting rocked. I don't understand why Vegas has his under 16 and a half at plus 106 against a pretty decent Rangers team. I know they aren't the most flashy team when it comes to hitting, but when they get hot, they can get hot, and they will grind out at bats too. So they'll definitely be able to work his pitch count up.
I really like this play. I'm actually going to put an extra quarter. I'm going to put an extra quarter unit on the under 17 and a half outs. I think that has a lot of good value. Can you guys hear me, by the way?
Yes.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I tried muting the space. Sorry, Drew. The feedback was coming through a little bit. But I'm going to put an extra quarter unit on the under 17 and a half outs at minus 140. It's the same payout essentially as the under 16 and half, just with the plus money. I think I do not see a scenario where he goes really deep in this game. I really like this look.
Yeah. Where did you find it for 17 and a half?
ESPN
Oh,
or The
okay.
Score. It's also available. No, that's the only place where I would play it. Minus 140. Everywhere
Yeah.
else is 16 and a half at plus 106, plus 100. and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Any other plays that we're looking at today in the MLB before I get to my main play of the day?
Nope.
All right. Time for my main play of the day then, I guess. First play, Yankees first three money line, -160. We discussed that. Second play of the day, really, Braves -1.5. Now, I understand that I'm going with the public, which is not something that I really like to do, but it's Chris Sale day. And he's facing Jansen Junk, who's really not locating his stuff so well. I also don't mind trying to get a line on the first five, first seven, or full game money line, or parlayed with the Miami's team total under. But Braves are simply just hitting too well right now. They can hit and stress a bullpen like Miami, even though Miami at home is actually kind of good. When I look at the offensive output of Miami, they rank 11th in the first five runs scored in the first five for games, but they rank 27th in runs scored from the sixth inning on. So when I look at what the Marlins can do as a team, it's really going to be damage early on, which kind of worries me with Chris Sale on the road. It's the only time he's ever been slightly shaky. I said comparatively, I guess, for him. I think ERA is like 3.30 on the road. At the end of the day, though, the Braves rank number one in runs scored in the first five innings and seventh from the sixth inning on. They also have a fifth top ranked bullpen in the league. I just don't really see how the Braves don't win by at least 2 runs. I'll take the near even money at -102. I understand it's not sexy and we're kind of paying the public tax on this, but I think it's worth it here. Drew, any thoughts?
No, I like everything you said there. I don't really. Yeah, I think you explained it perfectly.
Prince, anything?
No, nothing on that. I do have my own play as soon as you finish, but nothing on yours though.
Okay, why don't you go and then I'll give you guys my early win up to promo now featured on DK and FanDuel. I have a plus money play to give out after you give us I'm assuming a team total parlay.
Absolutely.
What do you got for us,
Yes,
Prince?
sir. Yep, we got another team total parlay again. We'll see if we can go 3 for 3 for the week here. So for today, guys, I'm looking at the Braves. As most just mentioned, I think the Braves are in a good spot today to hit a lot of runs. So we're going to look into the Braves here, team total over 2.5. And we're going to parlay that with the Rockies, team total over 2.5 again. Coors Field, a great hitting park. And I think the Rockies are in a good position here to put up some runs against the Rangers. So give me the Braves and Rockies both to hit 3+ runs. You can get that around -130.
Yeah, don't hate that at all. Going to be looking forward to watching, well, I guess all these games. Drew, any thoughts on this play?
No, I like it a lot.
All right. I also like, Prince, that you've pared down the plays to find like a slight underdog to get the team total over, especially on a day that they didn't score any the day before. I think it's a really sharp look to think that they bounce back, despite the fact that the public doesn't really like the play, which makes me actually like it all the more so. My FanDuel early win up to promo. I'm going to go with the Angels at +110. Officially half a unit play. I think this is a volatile game. I don't think either pitcher is really better than the other. Jack Kahanowitz struggled last time out. Aaron Saval struggled last time out. I can see both of them. Sorry, both of them. I don't really understand. I could see a very much a first 5 over or first 7 over and overall if they start the game well, like if they don't give up a lot of runs in the first 3 innings, which both of them actually tend to do. Both of them get significantly worse after the first 3 innings. So that's a live look that I'm going to be looking to put an extra half unit on. But I'm just going to take the Angels in the up to promo. I think that it's too volatile here. Savali hasn't given me any reasons to really trust him on the road, especially. The Angels, good ballpark for hitting. I almost took my home run sprinkle today in this game, but a volatile game at +110 where you can cash out after you're up by 2. I can very much see both of these teams being up by at least 2 runs at different parts of the game. So I think this is a really solid look. Prince, any thoughts on this one?
No, but I love it. I think you're spot on with the analysis, and I'm definitely going to be tailing it as I always do. Whenever I say I'm tailing it, I don't mean to say like, oh, I'm just tailing this one. I tail all the plays, but this one I like a little bit more. So yeah, I love it.
I have not been hitting these up to promos. The last two, I hit like 2 or 3 in a row to start the season, and I haven't hit the last two. So I'm hoping for a little bit of a bounce back. Drew, any thoughts on the Angels play or a different early win up to promo play that you would prefer?
Oh, what does he have to be up by again?
So as long as your team is up by at least 2 runs, it cashes the money line play. But you have to play it on the money line. You can't play it on like run line or anything like that.
That makes
DK
sense.
and FanDuel have it.
So I think a play I like. I know they're not necessarily pitching a well known. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, they're bringing someone in major league debut, but he is a top prospect. The Mets are bringing up Zach Thornton, right? But they're facing, but the Mets money line I saw was -130, and something about Zach Littell. I'm not saying the Mets will necessarily win, but Zach Littell has been absolutely atrocious, especially when it comes to giving to runs. The Mets faced him, I believe, last time, and he gave up like 8 runs against them. So I think that's a great one because the Mets in the first inning could score like 2 runs. So
Oh, that's an interesting look.
because Zach Littell's been getting rocks lately, unfortunately.
Yeah, Prince,
And
I
I
didn't.
just
Sorry,
interrupt real
go on.
quick. No, sorry, just interrupt real quick. It's funny you mentioned that because I was actually looking at the Mets team total over 2.5 as a potential leg of the parlay. So I'm glad to hear that you like them on their runs too.
I will say I do have the Mets on the run line -1.5 at +125. I grabbed it last night as a model play. So don't disagree with you, actually. The model doesn't disagree with you, actually. Very much in step.
Glad on the model's good side.
Yeah, yes, it is. It's been scary accurate lately. Prince, any up to early promos plays that you kind of looking for? Any underdogs or even favorites that you think might be worth a sprinkle? And then we'll go into our actual home run sprinkles of the day.
No, nothing really. I think both of you guys our plays are pretty solid there for the up two. I think you're getting good value on both of those, so I like them.
Yeah, and real shout out to my premium subscribers over on Substack. I've been releasing my model plays, mostly in baseball, but also NHL, NBA, even a little bit of PGA and whatever else I kind of find value on UFC. So definitely subscribe. You can find some really fun plays. And yesterday, let me double check, but I went with plenty of plus money, like +140s, +170s. I went 9, 7, and 1. And I think I went up like 4 or 5 units overall. So yeah, definitely worth a look and come subscribe. It's fun over there on Substack. All right, Prince, what's our home run sprinkle today?
Yeah, so for me, guys, we're gonna go back to that Rockies game. I'm looking at Hunter Goodman of the
Boy,
Rockies.
we're all going to be in this game, aren't we?
I had a feeling we would be. Yeah, looking at Hunter Goodman here to hit a home run. You're gonna get it at +376. Again, I just think the environment is right for him to go yard today, and I like the price of it +376.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at this game. It wasn't my favorite home run and hitting environment, but of the late games that were going off, it was between this one and the A's Angels game. But the A's Angels game, all the people that I wanted to take were like +320 or +340. So I was like, screw that. Yeah. Hunter Goodman was on the top of that very short list there. He's hitting a 14% barrel rate to a 50% hard hit rate. I mean, this man is on fire. Don't disagree with this pick at all. Drew, where are you going?
I'm a fan of Hunter Goodman. I'm just hoping he's not hunting good men. So, anyways, dad joke. But one I like a lot today is I was looking at the Brewers and Cubs, but I was trying to decide against it. But I'm going to go with you know what? I'm going to go with the Mets game here, especially with Zach Littell. He gives a lot of hard contact, gives up a lot of home runs. Uh, I'm not going to necessarily, of course, go with James Wood because I don't know how the Zach Thornton guy is, but I'm going to go with Juan Soto again. I know he's been me in the butt a couple of times, but I'm going to stick with it. Juan Soto +265 in National Stadium. So I like that.
I was so mad yesterday that I had Soto circled. I had a few people circled yesterday, and I wanted to get deeper value. I had Trout, I had Soto, and they all went off last night, and I'm so mad at myself. Prince, any thoughts?
Yeah, just for the listeners out there, you can never go wrong betting on a good man.
It's terrible. All right. I'm gonna go with Josh Young. I'm not really sure actually. Um, I think that the values here on Josh Young, I think I got this at plus 580. I'm sorry, I keep saying I think I should have written it down. It was like 25 minutes before the show started. I think that he has a really good opportunity today. You're facing Kyle Freeland, who did not give up a home run in his last game, but that was because he got hit so hard he got pushed out of the game after giving up 7 earned runs in just 3.2 innings against Arizona. The game before that, he gave up 3 home runs to Philadelphia. He gave up 2 home runs in the game before that to Atlanta. I think it could be anyone from the Rangers who are really hitting well right now, but I'm going to take the near plus 600 on Josh Jung. His hard hit rate's at 46.8%. I'm not worried about the barrel rate because Kyle Freeland will provide that for him. I think he goes yard today. I know he only has like 5 or 6 home runs on the season today, but someone's going to go yard, and it's going to be at someone at plus 500 or better. So I'm going to take that Josh Jung. Prince, this is actually just a page out of your book. Someone's going to go yard. I'm just going to pick someone with a really good odds and who has a really good lefty-righty matchup. Okay, let's get into the NBA. Prince, we're going to give it to you. What a game last night. You can sprinkle in a little bit more. I know we did at the beginning of our show. And what can we expect from tonight? Any best bets in tonight's match?
Yeah, so to recap yesterday, right? I thought, honestly, I thought the Knicks came out looked like a flat team, looked like a team that had been off for a little over a week, and they just didn't come out with the right energy, right? Looked like the Cavs were the more team that was informed, looked like the team that kind of had more of a rhythm, and you saw that for the first 3.5 quarters. But something happened. Personally, I think the Cavs ran out of gas at the start of the fourth quarter. I mean, you are talking about a team that's coming off a back-to-back 7-game series, so at some point you figured they were going to hit some kind of a wall, and I think that happened to them. I think in the fourth quarter they hit a wall and they stopped moving the ball, and they kind of reverted to hero ball, which doesn't work in the playoffs. And I think that allowed the Knicks to get back in it. And so, what an epic collapse, an all-time collapse by the Cavs. The Knicks, of course, now I think they're gonna have all the momentum in this series. I think they look at this game as a game that they stole, right? They stole game one at home, so I expect them to come out in game two with a much more focused perspective here and start to the game. I actually kind of like them in first quarter. That's probably something I'll probably give out officially tomorrow. The Knicks first quarter, I think they come out on fire and really ready to go, and kind of learning from their lessons in game one, not to come out lackadaisical and just get kind of being more focused and understanding what's at stake here. So, yeah, I mean, hell of a comeback from the Knicks, of course, and Cavs. I think they blew it, and it's going to be interesting to see how they bounce back in this series, because that's going to be a real tough one emotionally to overcome.
Yeah, I don't really know. Yeah, I think you said it just right. Emotionally, how do you overcome the
I mean, you're up
embarrassment?
20 points in the fourth quarter. I mean,
I very much like the Knicks first quarter play coming out next game. And if they go down 2-0, right? If the Knicks go up 2-0, Cavs are just going to be thinking to themselves, "We had them, and that's a mental killer right there." All right, sorry. What do you got for tonight? OKC game 2, right? What do we get? This is just an unbelievable series, right?
yeah. It's funny watching last night's game. It's like it was a good game, but in comparison to game one, it's like it kind of lets you down, right? Because it's just it's night and day. It's almost like watching varsity and then JV when you're looking at these two series. But of course, the varsity is the big boys with the Spurs and the Thunder. Yeah, so I think tonight's game, I'm expecting a more of a defensive game. To be honest with you guys, I think both coaches are going to make defensive adjustments on both teams here. And so I'm going to lean towards the under here. Actually, I'm going to give it as official play. I'm on the under 216.5. You're going to get that minus 112. Again, you have two great, excellent defensive teams here in this one. And I think based on the adjustments, you're going to see teams have, or players actually, have a little bit harder time to score, have a little bit harder time to get into rhythm. I think you're going to see a lot of physicality. And the refs aren't really calling you fouls as much in these playoffs. So for that reason, I think you're just going to see another great game. I struggle to lean toward the sides here, of course. You probably have to lean towards the Thunder because they can't go down 0-2, right? You can't lose the first two games at home in a Western Conference final. So probably the Thunder are the side that you want to lean on if you want to take a side. But for me, I think the Spurs can keep it close personally. But I'd just rather just stay on the total here. Again, I think it's going to be more of a defensive battle. Give me the under 216.5 here between Spurs and Thunder.
Hey, it took double overtime to hit the over in the last game, and I was very lucky that it went into double overtime to hit the over. So yeah, you have to kind of expect that the under will kind of come in, as was going to come in the first game until it went into overtime. Drew, any thoughts in the NBA tonight?
Yeah, definitely. Got a player prop here. Of course, a lot of the Shea played 51 minutes as we saw his last game. But I don't think that will necessarily deter him. Of course, because from any rest, there's not going to be no rest for him at all. And like to monitor him. Of course, I know it's the playoffs; people don't get rest. But I still, if he has to play 40 minutes, I expect him to play 40 minutes still. Sometimes we see a star plays 51 minutes; they try to limit it to 35, but they can't go down 0-2. Shea even said after the game, "I have to be better." If you actually look, even the last series, you can say I don't count. He didn't score 30 plus points like he usually does because he's playing the Lakers, and Lakers we're just getting blown out by them at the end of the day. But I will say his first game of the series, the last game of the series, he did score 35 points. Last game, he only scored 24 points, which is not as much for his standard, and was 7 of 23. So that's why I think this is crazy that Vegas has his line only at 27.5. Give me his over 27.5. If you guys know about Shea, anytime you see his line below 30, it generally will hit. So yeah, give me Shea, SGA, Aura, Mr. Aura himself, really well dressed himself, over 27.5 and minus 120. They're not going to win unless he scores 30 or more.
I love it. I like that you actually normally give us unders, and the fact that you're giving us an over today is a lot of fun and something that I'm going to be looking forward to. Prince, any reactions?
Yeah, I think it's an absolutely outstanding play. I'm actually putting it in right now. I think you're spot on with everything. If they're gonna have any chance, he's got to produce offensively. And anytime you have a superstar to his level who has an off game, they usually bounce back with a big game the next game. So
And also
Yeah,
that may raise, by the way, too. Like I wouldn't be surprised if that goes to 28.5 or possibly 30
yeah, that's
before
too
the
low.
game.
That's too low for SGA. I'm with you on that one. Yep.
never better to bet on a superstar because he's always going to be focused and he's going to get close one way or the other. All right, let's get into the NHL. Prince, I'm going to give it to you one more time if that's okay. You know, I got a pick actually for tonight. Surprisingly, I didn't think I did, and then the model popped up with something. So, no games last night, but anything for tonight? Golden Knights at Avalanche, game one.
Nothing for me officially. I do have WNBA play after this, but for the NHL tonight, I'll probably lean towards the under, but not an official play. I kind of want to see how this series plays out here, maybe a game or two before I do anything with it. But because there's a contrast of styles here, right? The Knights are kind of a decent defensive team. I'm not sure. Avalanche, of course, are probably a juggernaut right now. But I think the Knights, with their experience and their kind of their championship pedigree, might cause them some problems. So I just kind of want to see how things play out here before I do anything officially.
Yeah, I hear that. I think that the looking at the underlying metrics here, Avalanche just put up so many highly dangerous shots and creating so many dangerous shot opportunities that the Vegas Knights are going to have, I think, difficulty keeping up. I think that Avalanche kind of just blow them out. I'm going to take their 60-minute money line at minus 110 over on FanDuel, half a unit. I just don't see the Golden Knights on the road being able to complete an upset to a point where they even force this into overtime. I think the Avalanche are clearly the better team. I think that they take command in game one. I don't necessarily think that Colorado sweeps Vegas, but I do think that they put their foot down at home, game one, the series. So that's the play that I'm going to be on. I thought minus 110 was a good value. Wasn't necessarily going to take anything below that. I would go to max minus 115 or look for a live play where you can find that maybe on just the regular money line if they go down early. So that's my look. Prince, any thoughts? Drew, any thoughts? And then we'll get to the WNBA, and then we'll get to our question of the day and invite our listeners to come up and speak with us.
Yeah, I like your play a lot. I actually do have a player prop here. We're going to I want to pronounce his name wrong, but Martin Nikos, is that how you say his name? I think, but I like him 3+ shots on goals. He actually is second on the team this postseason with 25 shots on goal, and with McKinnon and McCarr getting most of the workload, I think that's going to open doors for him. And I think 3 shots on goal from -140 is not one is not bad value at all. You can probably shop better lines around the board, but I think that's great value.
Sorry, I was paying attention to the chat, honestly. Not supposed to do that during the show, but what was your play one more time?
Martin Nikos over so it's over 2.5 shots on goals, but you can do 3+ shots on goals from -140. Same thing. But yeah.
Fantastic. I really like where you get your looks. I don't know where you get your looks from, but I really like them.
Yeah.
Prince, any last thoughts in the NHL before we move to the WNBA?
No, nothing else for me for the NHL.
All right, passing it back to you for WNBA. What do you got?
Yeah, so tonight in the W, we do have a 3-game slate. One of the games I'm not going to touch. It's the Connecticut Sun and Seattle Storm. That is the dumpster fire game of the season. I have absolutely nothing for that, so going to stay away from that one. But the other 2 games, I do have a play here for. We got the Portland Fire heading to Indiana, taking on the Fever. And then we have the Dallas Wings heading up here to Chicago, taking on the Sky. What I landed on here was going to be a 2-pick parlay. I like the Fever team total over 83.5 points, taking on the Portland Fire. The Fire are not a very good team defensively. They're not a very good team in general, but specifically on the defensive side, they really struggle. I think the Fever at home are going to be able to play an up-tempo pace of play that they like to play. And they should be able to put up a ton of points in this one. So toning them down here a little bit to just 83.5. We're going to parlay that with the Wings and Sky. I like the over 169.5. We're going to alt line that one here. I'll get an alt total for that one. And that parlay comes in at plus 102. So again, the Wings and Sky over 169.5. Fever team total over 83.5. That parlay comes in at plus 102. Again, the Wings and Sky, these are 2 teams that do like to get up and down the court. So I think we should be in for a high scoring game in that one as well. So again, Fever over 83.5. Wings Sky over 169.5 at plus 102. And then I also do have a player prop as well. I'm looking at the Dallas Wings and the Chicago Sky. I'm looking at Paige Beckers, 2+3s. You're going to get that at plus 124. She has hit this in 3 or 4 games already this season. She is on fire from the 3-point line right now. And I'm really surprised we're getting this for just 2 threes at plus money. The Sky are a good defensive team on the perimeter. They do defend the 3 very well, but it's early in the season. I'm going to take the superstar in Paige Beckers here to continue her hot streak from the 3-point line. Give me Paige Beckers 2+3s at plus money here, plus 124.
Nice. Also plus 130 in MGM and DK, so definitely worth shopping your lines. But I like this play. It's a lot of fun. I don't understand either how just 2+3s are plus 130.
Yeah, I think
How
it's
many games in a row?
3. I mean, so she missed it in her first one, but she hit it in her last 3. And she's shooting a lot of threes as well. So the volume is there, and she's making them. And it's early in the season, so I mean, I get the Sky defensively are right now a good, defending a 3-point shot, but it's still very early. So, like I said, I mean, I'll back the superstar in this situation.
Absolutely love it. Drew, any thoughts on the WNBA?
No thoughts on my end. I like Prince's play a lot.
All right, let's shift focus to soccer. Prince, any thoughts on soccer today?
Yeah, so we
got the Europa Europa. What is it?
It's the final game here.
Yeah.
Yep, Europa League final. 3 p.m. Eastern kickoff. We got Freiburg from the German Bundesliga taking on Aston Villa from the EPL. What I landed on here, guys, I'm going to take both teams to score at minus 110. I think both teams can get on the board in this one. I think both defenses are capable of allowing goals, but they're also capable of scoring goals as well, both of these teams. So I think we could be in for a little bit of an entertaining match here. If you want to take a side, I lean more towards Aston Villa. They're definitely the more experienced side in these type of games. Their coach, Unai Emery, has been in big games as well, so they have a managerial advantage as well over Freiburg. Freiburg, this is their first ever European final in the history of their club, so shout out to them for getting this far. They're a good team in their own right. Again, I do believe they can score, but I also believe they can concede. So for that reason here, I think we're getting good value on both teams to score. So I'll just play that at -110.
Like it. I was going to give that out as a lean, but now I don't have to. Thanks, Prince. All right. I'm going to invite all of our public members who are listening to.
Before we do that,
Yep.
I'd be remiss if I didn't give out my FIFA World Cup play of the day, because I have to do that every day now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I forgot about that. And
That's
I
a new
even got an
segment. That's a new
early
segment.
look at it last night.
Yes, that's a new segment we're going to be doing here, guys, as we count down the days to the kickoff of the FIFA World Cup. We are 22 days away from the kickoff of the first match in the FIFA World Cup. Your World Cup play of the day is going to come as a futures play. This is another one that I have not given out on any of the previous podcasts. So this is a brand new play. The VIPs got this last night, and I will give this out to everyone today, right here, right now. We have new lines coming out. There's going to be new lines coming out as we get closer to the tournament. So there's new plays that we can find as we get near to the first official match here. So what I landed on here, we're looking at lowest scoring team in the tournament. I am going to be playing Curacao to be the lowest scoring team in the entire tournament. You're going to get that at +400. The reason for that being is you have two of arguably the top 10 defenses in the world in the same group, in Ecuador and Ivory Coast. I don't see where Curacao is going to get their goals. And guess what? Their other matchup in that game, in that group, is Germany. So good luck to Curacao scoring against Germany, Ecuador, or Ivory Coast. I don't think they score a single goal in this tournament. I am shocked, absolutely shocked, that we're getting plus money, let alone +400. I couldn't play that fast enough. Not sure what the books are thinking on this one. Shout out to Curacao for getting here. They are the smallest nation ever to qualify for a World Cup. But they're one of the lowest scoring teams in the Caribbean, and that's against Caribbean nations. You're taking it up about 5 or 6 levels here when you're talking about Ecuador, Ivory Coast, and Germany. Don't see where the goals come from. I don't think they score a single goal in this tournament. I love +400 for them to be the lowest scoring team in the World Cup. That is going to be your World Cup play of the day.
Absolutely love it. Cannot wait. When does, I mean, we're in qualifiers still, correct me. I'm not as familiar with the World Cup and when it starts and everything, but I know it's coming up in like a month, right?
Yeah, so like I said, we're 22 days away from the very first kickoff of the World Cup. That's going to be between Mexico and I believe South Korea, if I'm not mistaken. That's over in Mexico. That's going to be June 11th. So we're done with qualifiers. All the teams are set. All the groups are set. Right now, we're just basically waiting to finish up the domestic leagues here with the EPL. EPL finishes this Sunday. Bundesliga is already done. La Liga is going to be finishing up as well. So once these domestic leagues finish, then we'll have about a 2-week break. And then we'll get right into the World Cup. So we're gonna have, I think there's one more international break where teams kind of get a little bit of a last minute tune up, make some tinkering with their lineups and kind of see how things go. So it's more of like a glorified scrimmage between countries. But officially here, yeah, we're just a couple of weeks, 2.5 weeks out, 3 weeks out from the World Cup starting.
Awesome. That first game, Mexico, South Korea, that should be a good game, right? Both of those teams are competitive.
Yeah, that's going to be actually a really fun group. Mexico, South Korea, South Africa, and I'm drawing a blank on the final. Czechia. Yeah, so that could be a really entertaining group. You guys can check out my World Cup preview podcast to get my exact thoughts on that. That is, again, available on the channel. You guys can find that over on the OnlyBets podcast on X, and also you guys can find it over on Apple and Spotify where you guys listen to our podcast.
We should repost that later today, maybe at like 3 or 4 p.m. or so.
Yeah, absolutely. My plan is to repost it every day. That's what I'm going to try to do. So if you guys check, whenever you guys are listening to this, you guys should be able to find it near the top of your page on the OnlyBets podcast page. So we're going to try to repost that every day up until the World Cup starts.
Awesome. All right. Ready for the question of the day?
I am.
Drew?
Already.
All right. And then we can go over any leans that we have across sports because, of course, I have leans in baseball. All right. Here's the question. Out of the sports that you currently understand and know, which one would you like to know or understand better?
That's a great question. I
Yeah,
think
thanks, Google.
Google to the rescue never fails. You know what? One sport I always wish I was good at, but I'm terrible, is golf. I love like I just love the what should I say? I love the competitiveness of golf, right? It's just you in the course, it's you competing against yourself, it's you trying to determine, how much better you can get. And it's a solid number. Like there's really not a lot of variables in terms of are you good or not. I mean, it's a number. Like you either you achieve this number or you don't, right? You're either under par or you over par. I just always found golf to be fascinating. I always wish I was good at it. I just can't. For the life of me, I just can't get it down at all. But it's always a sport that I wish that I could just at least be mediocre at. So I could, I'd love to go out there, hit 18 holes, and just have some fun, on a beautiful golf course and have a score at least. But I just for the life of me, I can't swing the golf club. It's just not my cup of tea. But I do like golf a lot.
I hear. So, but the question was, which sport do you wish you understood better? I'll give you an example.
Okay,
For
okay.
me,
I wish I understood golf in terms of how to play it.
Sorry, that's funny. It's not wrong. Fair enough. All right, for me, it's gonna be cricket because I understand golf. I'm not really great at it. I'm okay. I really wish I understood cricket because I would like to know how to bet it. Because it's always on early in the morning and I don't understand what's flying.
Facts,
And I don't
facts.
understand how many points is good. And I don't understand how you get to 280 versus 340. And it's confusing to me. I'm sure if I spent an hour on it, I'd be able to fully understand it. But I don't have the time to dedicate to it right now. I just know that there is really good opportunities in the cricket world, and I have no idea how to take advantage of it. How about you, Drew?
It was funny. Cricket was one I was thinking of. Something I learned from somebody who understands cricket. Even avid cricket fans say they still don't understand it. So that says it right there.
Matches can go on for a week. I don't understand. I don't.
Yeah, they can literally go on for a week from what I heard. And yeah, cricket is like interesting. Of course, I get your take on it. I would say a sport that I wish I understand more because like I understand soccer and stuff. I just don't watch it as much as I do like the other sports because I play soccer like my whole life, so I understand like the concept of it. I would say a sport that I kind of wish I understand more is nowadays is because I usually watch UFC a lot. I watched boxing a lot when I was younger, when there was a lot more well known names and stuff. But I would love to understand boxing, of course, now more and stuff like that in general. It's not that I don't fully understand it. It's just to the aspect of like, I wish I knew the more current contenders of it and wish I knew, like who's the top of the top, more. Of course, I know there's, Usyk, of course, Joshua is slowly down the road, Deontay Wilder, but there's a lot of new up and coming guys. So I wish I understood that more and I can get more information on like the new up and coming guys and stuff like that.
Let,
Get
let
back
me let
into
me
it.
let me interject real quick. I think the problem with that, Drew, I think you're spot on with that. I think it's a great take. And Michael, we'll get to you in just a second. But I want to respond to this boxing thing. I think the problem with boxing is that too much of it is on pay-per-view. And too much of it is on channels where we don't have access. We don't have easy access to boxing. And boxing also is not really covered in a mainstream kind of way, right? So there's not like a leaderboard where you can see, people don't cover, oh, these are the top 10 contenders for the WBO, for the WBA, for the IBC. You don't see that. Like, unless you're like a hardcore boxing insider, that information is not easily available. And then the matches itself are not easily available. So I think that's kind of like twofold as to why we don't, because I'm with you on that. Like, I wish, like, I know the big names, but I don't know, technically where they rank in terms of, the different organizations and stuff like that. Like, who's up next for a title fight, all that kind of stuff. It'd be better if that was like more streamlined. I don't know. I
Well,
just wanted to
that's
say that.
kind of what UFC and PFL are trying to do. They're trying to create more consistent rankings so that their fighters can get more, I guess, stardom and exposure than what was previously available. That's also why UFC made that deal with Paramount Plus so that they don't have to do the pay-per-view model anymore. PFL is working on trying to get a structured season so that you fight all the fighters once, similar to an MLB, NBA, NFL type season where you face all the contenders and you move your way up in a structured season format that you can count on for each division. So there is movement towards this, but you're right. In traditional boxing, absolutely not. Every once in a while on a Saturday night, I'm flipping through the channels and I'm like, hey, what's this? And then I go on DK and I'm like, oh, I could bet on it. Shout out, by the way, can I self-promote myself? And I know I'm going to burn this coming week, but I went 12-6 for my third straight. I think it was second or third straight consecutive, really solid plus money on my UFC picks and my articles. Subscribe to my Stern Bets Substack for that. Really well so far. Anyway, leans for going on here. I have a few today in the MLB. I like the Astros, Rangers, Guardians, Mets. We talked about Pirates. I think is a really good look. Braves, Marlins over is a solid one. Dodgers, I think, get it done today by multiple runs. Shame that they couldn't get it done by multiple runs last night. Drew, any thoughts in the MLB before we kind of close up and review our best bets and get on out of here?
No thoughts on my end.
All right,
before we close up, did we want to? I think Michael might have something to say.
Do we
want to give
him
a chance to talk?
Totally slipped my coffee-addled brain. Michael, what do you got?
Oh, hey guys. Moshe, I can help you out with cricket. We can talk like in the chat or whatever, but I can help you out with cricket. Cricket's actually really fun to bet on, and it's a good time.
Yeah, it looks like a great.
Too,
it looks fantastic. I just haven't been able to get my foothold in. Would love, honestly, if you wanted to come on the show and we could do a cricket day, maybe like next Friday or something, or whenever you want. Come on and explain it to us, man.
Yeah, sounds good. And then that's all I got. Oh, and then it's South Africa, Mexico for the opening match of the World Cup. Not South Korea.
Thank you. I can't remember South Korea or South Africa. Thank you. Good correction. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. And if you want to see Curacao play, they're playing in Kansas City. So if you want to watch them like not score goals,
watch them not score goals, watch them get beat down.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry. I mean, shout out to all the Curacao fans out there listening. But hey, congrats on making the World Cup. You'll get a week stay in America, and then off you go back to Curacao.
Is that the same Curacao that makes that blue liqueur?
Not sure, but possibly. I think there's only one Curacao, so probably.
I was a bartender in another lifetime. Thanks, Michael, for coming
up. That's all I got. So thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Anytime, brother. Anytime. Our on-the-ground correspondent, Michael, definitely coming in as often as he can. Also, our residential Celtics and Sporting Kansas City and the MLS expert. So shout out to Sporting Kansas City for getting a win last time. Thanks for the 7 plus 600 or whatever the payout was for that. All right, Drew, give us your best bets of the day, and then I'll go, and then we'll hand it off to Prince to close us out.
Yep, I have Kyle Freeland under 6.5 outs at plus 106. SGA over 27.5 points at minus 120. Martin Nikas 3+ shots on goal at minus 140. Sprinkle Juan Soto home run at plus 260.
Love it, love it, love it. I'm going with the Yankees. First 3 money line minus 160. Braves minus 1.5 at minus 102. Half a unit here on the Angels on the up to early promo on FanDuel or DK. Half a unit there. Angels, I think, is a really good look. And then my home run sprinkle of the day, if I can ever find it. Josh Young, plus 580. All right, Prince, what do you got for us?
Yep, guys. So to close us out here, we're looking at the Spurs Thunder. I'm going to take the under 216.5 here at minus 112. In the WNBA, give me the Fever team total over 83.5 with the Wings Sky over 169.5. Comes in around plus 102. I'm also going to be taking Paige Beckers to hit 2+3s. That comes in at plus 124. In the major leagues, I'm going to take the Braves, team total over 2.5, and the Rockies, team total over 2.5, comes in around -130. We're going to sprinkle Hunter Goodman to go yard here, hit a home run at +376. In the Europa League final today, we're going to take Freiburg, Aston Villa, both teams to score at -110. And your FIFA World Cup play of the day, we're looking at Curacao to be the lowest scoring team in the World Cup. You're going to get that at a whopping +400 odds. That's going to do it for us today, guys. This has been the Only Bet Sports Podcast Wednesday edition. We hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week or your afternoons here. We'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same place, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Catch us live right here on OnlyBets Podcast over on X/Twitter. Appreciate you guys as always. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Until then, have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.